Howdy buckaroos, this is GM Jim and I just finished tying my horse to the hitching rail outside so I can mosey on into the saloon and down a couple of shots of whiskey with y'all. This video has nothing to do with westerns, so I don't know why I just did that. Anyway, on this installment of my GM Advice series, I want to talk about a certain kind of metagaming. In a particular instance in which it's not only not bad, but can be used to heighten the fun and enhance the tension around the table. In order to do this, I need to spin a yarn about a campaign I played in and give you some of the background details. I was playing a rogue who had recently joined the party and I was just trying to keep up with everyone. I was new to the campaign and they'd all been playing together for a while. If you've been in this situation, you know what to do. Listen, keep your mouth shut, just try to figure out what's going on as it's happening. But our current goal was to teleport to a forest village somewhere to ask some village elder for help with something. That's about all I understood. But when the teleport spell was cast, the D100 roll told us that a mishap had occurred. Oops. The end result was that only one of the PCs was actually teleported to the village and the rest of us were about a day's journey away. The DM first focused the camera on the larger group and ignored the solo PC for now. That's going to be an important detail in a couple minutes. And with a treacherous mountain pass between us and our destination, we started the hike up the trail. Bad weather, rough terrain, this was going to be a challenge. And soon, we heard a rustling in the bushes behind us. What happened next? Our trigger-happy wizard immediately dropped a fireball on those bushes. Whoa! I didn't know it at the time, but this group had been followed by some spying baddies for a while now, and the wizard had assumed that it was them skulking in the bushes behind us. But it turned out it was not the same creatures. Instead, our wizard had torched a group of smallish, woodland sprite-like beings. The ones who didn't get toasted claimed they were merely protectors of the mountain, and we had made an unwarranted act of aggression against them when they were merely checking us out. Fair point. Some in the party were apologetic, offering to try to heal the crispy critters, and some were indignant. Soon the post-fireball roleplay discussion broke down and the surviving creatures fled. Both me and my character were kinda mad at the wizard for being so rash. And now going from bad to worse, the situation escalated rather quickly, because within a few minutes some of those woodland creatures returned with bigger, nastier mountain protector friends. A rough combat ensued. Many of those baddies focused their fire on the wizard and flat out killed her, including hitting her when she was already at 0 HP. We won the combat, but a couple of the enemies escaped. Also, we didn't have Revivify or Raise Dead at the time, so the wizard just flat out died. Also, side note, the now dead wizard's character was played by the DM's real-life wife, which is a whole can of worms that I'm not going to get into in this video. And here we're going to dive into the meat and explain how this video applies to a certain kind of metagaming. Because once the combat was over, the DM now pivoted the focus to the singular character who had made it to the village. You can probably guess where the story is headed, right? That village on the other side of the mountain was home to these woodland sprite creatures. Of course. And one of the nasty quote-unquote baddies we had killed on the mountaintop was this village's champion and protector. And so let me spell out the metagamey part for you. That lone player now has to ask for help from this village elder, knowing what the other PCs had done. And the players with PCs on the mountaintop also have to watch this scene play out, knowing what we have done. I don't know if the DM planned any of this out or if it was just a perfect storm of coincidence, but it's hard to illustrate just how tense the next few scenes were. And all of this tension was above the table. None of the PCs knew anything was out of place, but all of the players did. All the players knew just how badly we had screwed the pooch. Yet we still had to roleplay everything out to see how the situation would unfold. This is why sometimes your players having information that your PCs don't have can heighten the experience at the table. It's like seeing a movie where you know there's an ambush waiting for the hero, but the hero walks into it blissfully unaware. It's a delicious slice of dramatic tension and something I use in my novels all the time. That disparity between what the audience knows and what the characters don't know. Or in this case, what the players know versus what the PCs know. The endgame story had a happy ending because we were eventually able to smooth things over in the village. But I'm pretty sure the DM got an earful from his wife for killing her character so brutally. Yikes. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Anyway, I hope this little tale gave you some ideas for how operating a story on 2 levels can enhance your game. Until next time, this is GM Jim. Now go out there and stoke that fire.